Oak Creek, welcome back to GC 365, day 296.
It is, yes.
We're on the cusp.
I know, it's crazy. Almost 300.
That's right.
Whew.
You should throw a party for yourself when you get to
I'm
300. Good. I want to.
We already got it planned. We're making T-shirts.
Oh, that is rich. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had quite the readings.
We did.
Like a lot of readings. Take it all in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be looking at Jeremiah for a while. And Jeremiah 42. Do you want to just launch it off? Oh, by the way, we should probably tell them who we are. I'm Haley. I'm
yes.
the high school pastor.
I'm Tyler. I'm the one who edits all of these.
Woo.
So, yeah.
Round of applause. Watching online.
Thank you. Yeah.
Give that
Making
applause
it happen.
emoji in there. But why don't you start it off for us?
Okay, so
Jeremiah.
for Jeremiah 42, I found it pretty interesting how there's so many people coming to him to ask specifically to pray to God and ask what he to get a response from him.
Yeah. No, I thought that was they were very eagerly telling him okay, you clearly get good words from the Lord, so maybe he'll give you something good to tell us. And then as it went through and God was like, yep, here's my words. Don't go to Egypt. And then it got pretty harsh.
It started off real lighthearted and then it kind of just,
I had to kind of go back and reread and be like, am I reading the same chapter? Because
Right.
it's it took a turn for the worse. And he's like, yeah, don't go to Egypt. But since you're going to do it anyways, this is what's going to happen. And I just liked that God called him out.
Right. And it's funny too, because beforehand they're like, should we go to Egypt? Whatever your answer is, it's fine.
Yes.
And then the next sentence was they did not do that.
No, not at all. And so with that just being, I'm sure I've done this plenty of times, or anybody can do this, and asking for God's guidance with no intention of actually following it. Just saying
right?
Oh, but I did ask.
Or an ultimatum, if this thing happens, then I'll do X, and with no plan to follow through.
Yeah. So if you're doing that,
maybe don't.
Just know God knows what you're doing. So then we head into Jeremiah 43, where they go to Egypt because God said.
They did.
Yeah. He kind of knows it all. He said, all right, you're going to go to Egypt. So they did. And they take Jeremiah with them kind of against his will. And you're coming with us because we didn't like what you had to say.
Right.
And as this is all happening, this new prophecy comes from Jeremiah saying look, Nebuchadnezzar is now going to come in here and destroy all of you and he's going to leave unharmed. And it's just yes, you can only, it's sad, but you can laugh at this story. And be
it's almost comical where it's just, because it seems almost all the Old Testament is just God telling them what to do, them not doing it, and then them suffering the consequences.
Yeah, and then saying but why did we have to do that? So that was pretty much the sum of chapter 43. 44, we didn't read the whole chapter, but do you want to kind of give us what
it
took?
It kind of just seems like it's trying to get across that you're just kind of digging your own grave with your sins. So it's kind of listing all the things that that they were doing wrong. And it was the one where it was talking about liquid sacrifice in the Queen of Heaven. Did you see it?
I was talking about all the idols and to the Queen of Heaven, and just kind of again how God knows what's happening there and through all of these things. And I was laughing about just Jeremiah again forced to be there. Is he just sitting there in the corner watching this crazy happen? I mean, we kind of just had a conversation about this prior to filming and of Black Friday actually, and how you like to watch the crazies or I also like to be a part of the crazy. But is Jeremiah one of those where he's what is going on? And I've told these people what is going to happen, yet they're still doing it and even
not taking my
worse.
warning at all.
In verse 9 of this chapter, it says, let me see if have you forgotten the sins of your ancestors, the sins of the kings and the queens of Judah, and the sins you and your wives committed in Judah and Jerusalem? And just kind of this one statement, I feel, is a reminder of why it's important to not dwell on our mistakes and to well, if we have a hard past or come out of a hard choice we've made, but it's important to also remember the things we've learned.
Keep in mind what happened to you and how you become the person you are now.
Yeah, because if we do forget, then you have the risk of making the same mistake, which is clearly what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
all the good stuff in Jeremiah, and continues to be crazy. And so just join in on the crazy, sit back like Jeremiah and just kind of enjoy.
Or like me.
Or like Tyler.
Yes, exactly.
And then,
I am Jeremiah.
Yeah, it's just saying what is going on. So then we head into the New Testament. Well, was there anything else you kind of got out of there? All right, so we'll head into the New Testament here of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 through 21, and talking about being a hard worker and the work of a believer. And this kind of made me think of other workplaces that I've been in, you know, not just here at the church, and places where if you work really, really hard and you show that you're faithful and that you're loyal, it usually helps you in the future, either move up in position, helps you with relationships and friendships in the workplace. Have you ever been in like other workplaces where you found that, okay, I'm loyal here, so then you moved up? Or
no.
Not? Okay, great. Great.
I've worked in like the food industry, and it's just it's a rough
it
place.
Is. Yeah.
So.
No. Worked in restaurants.
But I imagine that
shout out to all you restaurant workers.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to work. But basically that's what this chapter is saying, like continue to work hard. And I guess to that, you know, he does talk about there are going to be hard times. It's not just like all these like wonderful things, wonderful promotions.
It's not all sunshines and roses.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But that Jesus is faithful to us when we are faithful to him through it all. And I don't know, did you catch the odd like imagery there at the end, or what we were compared to of that chapter? And
was it fruit or
close?
Bearing fruit? No,
it was close. Silverware.
Oh yes.
So like I guess you know like we use silverware to eat with or eat with fruit, but I was like, why are we being compared to like fine china?
Yeah, it was like rich people have fine china in their house, which they use on like special occasions.
Yes. Do your parents ever like? Do they have the case of like nice dishes?
Nice dishes, yeah.
Yeah, that you can only
silverware.
Yeah,
we didn't have like gold silverware, but we did have fine china.
Yeah, and so if you're one of those people, wonderful, because apparently it's biblical. But
exactly, yes.
I've always was like, wait, when do we use these dishes? Or like, why are they just sitting out on the table and not being used? And it's actually was saying like, these are when you try to be the best, and when you try to be the best that you can be for God through it all, he considers you the best and he sets you aside as the best, kind of like the fine china.
You stand out like the fine china.
Yeah,
right.
There we go. So it makes sense now. You're not just like a fork and a spoon. It's better than that.
And then also in that verse, I really enjoyed the part where it was like, all those who belong to the Lord must turn away from evil. And I think that's like a small snippet, but it's a good reminder that even if you consider yourself a follower of Jesus, it's like you need to, actually work for that, not do evil things.
Yeah.
And,
definitely
follow the advice of Jesus.
Yeah, not just say. So like going back to Jeremiah, of not just say that you like have these intentions to follow him, but actually do it. So when you seek his guidance, know that you should probably follow it as well.
Exactly.
Then we have our Psalms and Proverbs, and I really got something out of Psalms 92, just talking about being thankful for all that God has done in our lives. And I was going to read that verse. It says, "You thrill me, Lord, with all you have done for me. I sing for joy because of what you have done." And it reminds me of one of my favorite worship songs is "Grateful" by Elevation Worship. And it's just very upbeat and very positive, and just kind of saying like, thank you for all of this that you've done. And we actually had somebody sing it at my husband and our wedding. Oh. So it just reminds me of that. I know. Like how pleasant, how lovely. Yeah. It reminds me of love. And then when we found out we were pregnant, I got in the car. It was the very first song that started playing. So it's like, it's a very special song to me. I hope you guys can take a listen to it. But in those moments, it reminds you to be just grateful in the simple things and the big things as well. But it could be a time where if you're struggling or having sufferings, to also still be thankful. Even when it can seem very hard, it's easier said than done. But
and I think like it's one of those things where too, it's like where you become what you think about. So that's
so true.
Where it's like if you think about all the great things that you have and you appreciate them, it'll make you happy.
Yeah,
Right.
Definitely. And then Psalms 93. Does anything stick out to you there?
It seems like it's like just a poem about how great God is.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. It's good that we can end like a positive note after we saw like all the things that were
started out real rough.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, there's no hope. But he really is so great.
There's like 2 pages about how screwed they were. Like.
Yeah, we're really sad for them. And then Proverbs is what we end with, chapter 26, verses 3 through 5.
I really like this one, actually.
Yeah, I did have to read it a couple times.
Mm-hmm. I think what stuck out to me was like, don't argue with foolish people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're like one of those people on Twitter that just gets in arguments with just random strangers.
Don't be one of them.
Don't be that person.
No. If you are, we have warned you. Don't be that person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was confused because at first it seemed like a little bit contradicting and like, don't argue with a foolish person. But if you argue with a foolish person, you're wise. And I was like, wait, what? How is this like? And so I kind of like did some research on it, and it was basically saying like, no matter what, a fool is going to remain a fool whether they've been answered or not. And like, so if you walk away and you don't answer them because you think, well, they're not really, now's not the time or place to like talk to them about it. Or if it is a good conversation piece to be like, hey, let me help you out, or let me give you a little bit of common sense here, you could help make that person wise, type of thing. But I'm with you on the Twitter thing.
Yeah, don't get in arguments with random people on the internet.
No.
It doesn't help anyone.
It's not good. So with all that to say, I would say it's safe to say we are the fine china. Don't go to Egypt, and truthfully seek out God's guidance. So thank you so much for watching.
Yes.